My show's so dark, but we'll do the best we can. How's everybody doing? I had a very stressful ride over here at 5 and 17 miles per hour from Sacramento this morning. We started about 10:30 and we just got here. So it was a long ride, usually 2.5 hours or something. But I'm here, you're here, and thank you for being here. I teach Food for Life for Dr. Neil Bernard, Food for Life nutrition and cooking classes, which I'm certified to teach anywhere. I teach them in Sacramento at the different colleges around where I live. My name's Linda Middlesworth, and I've been plant-based and vegan for 34 years. And I'm so glad that my then neighbor told me about it, because if she hadn't told me where to go, we were just walking our dogs around the block, and I had cancer, heart disease, I was 50 pounds overweight, I had diabetes, pre-diabetes, and high blood pressure, what else? I was a mess. And I was a full-time aerobic instructor, 25 classes a week, kickboxing, you name it. I'm still an aerobic instructor, and I'm 78. And the only reason I still am is because of what happened to me when I found out about this information 34 years ago. So I'm hoping it will help somebody here. Maybe it's the first time you've heard about it, maybe not. But it's Dr. Neil Bernard. He's the guy, he's not the doctor who saved my life, but he's the person I help now with teaching these classes. Let's see. Okay, there, that's me on the left, but this, where's my other picture? It's not showing the left side. No, you went to the next slide. Go back.
How's that for you?
That's the beginning.
How's the next slide?
How's this for you?
Well, you can't see my picture. Oh, I guess you can. I was overweight there, about 55 pounds. And this is me. This is 6 months ago. And this is 6 months ago. This is me at my gym right before I'm going to teach a class. I'm not allowed to take pictures of my class, so I had to do it alone. But I've been teaching there for 25 years. And I was teaching at a different gym before that. But I wouldn't look like that. I would look more like that if I hadn't found Dr. John McDougall. My neighbor told me about, how many of you have heard of Dr. John McDougall? Wow, a lot of you. Okay, good. He saved my life, basically. Well, I would have been dead at least 30 years ago if I hadn't found him. I didn't even meet the man. I went and read his book my neighbor told me about. She said, oh, just read his book, Linda. That'll all go away. I read his book, and in the book, he explained people who are overweight and how they lost all the weight. They had cancer. There was even one lady she was a young lady, and she'd had cancer, and she was overweight. And she went on the McDougall diet only because she was getting all the chemo and the radiation, but her body was so ravaged by that. They said, even though your cancer's not gone, we're going to have to wait a little bit before we return. She got online, she found Dr. John McDougall. She went from size 18 to size 4. Her cancer never returned. She never went back for more chemo and radiation after she did months of it. So I saw these people who changed. I don't care what it was, high blood pressure, you name it. And I thought, oh gosh, this is for me. I'm going to do it. And I read the book from cover to cover, and I didn't stop. I just kept reading it over and over again because I couldn't believe it. But it made sense. So I jumped right in. I didn't do it perfectly at first because I did what you call processed food plant eating. You know, the one with the donuts and the all that stuff. And then I did more McDougall. I took out all the oil, but it was still processed food because you can get hot dogs that are oil-free, but they're processed food. You can get all kinds of nut-based ice cream that's oil-free, right? You can get so much good stuff. Really, it's good stuff. Chocolate chip cookies that are oil-free. I mean, really, I was so happy. But, you know, I couldn't lose all the weight. I lost about 25, even doing the processed food. But I couldn't take the rest off because of the processed food. So what happened is I finally did more reading. Let me see. Let's go forward. Next slide. Jim, next slide. I guess this is not working from here. Whoops, that's the wrong way. There we are. That's Dr. John McDougall. I've had him as my speaker so many times. The only complaint I have about the man is, he said, Linda, if you charge money, I'm not coming. He wants everything to be free. And that was great, except I had to pay for the venue by myself. But anyway, I love the man, and what he taught me saved my life. I wanted everybody to hear about him. So I was happy to do it. Next slide, please. This thing isn't working, Jim. So that was the name of the book, his later book, which I use for my clients when I coach them. I use the starch solution. I love this book because it explains it's not just plant eating. We need to make the basis of our food starch. And you know, everybody, I told him, I said, never call it that. Nobody's going to buy it. And he said, well, it's a bestseller, and it's still a bestseller. I thought nobody, the anti-carb movement we have going on in this country, the keto diet, and that will kill you, by the way. But the starch, the reason starch is so good is because it gives you energy. That's why I'm 78 and still an aerobic instructor, right? Kickboxing, weight training, you name it, right? Because I have energy. I have energy galore from the starch. I eat maybe 10 potatoes a day, rice and beans and peas and corn. And then I add in the greens and some fruit. I'm done, right? A few nuts and seeds. Next slide, please. Okay, then I also read John Robbins' The Food Revolution. How many of you read that one? Yeah, it really changed my life. I started right away changing my food even more because of what they said. His son Ocean runs it now, and it's fantastic if you can get on the Food Revolution. Next slide, please.
Food Revolution Network.
Yeah, Food Revolution Network. Thank you so much. So then I started the Sacramento Vegan Society, and today I proudly can say we have 5,082 members. It's a meetup group, and we do dine-outs, we do animal rights activities, we have speakers come. I put on events like I had Go Healthy Live. I did in person. I've had all the major doctors in our plant world, like T. Colin Campbell, Dr. Bernard, my boss, and Dr. Clapper and Dr. James Burney, and I mean all the big guys I've had as a speaker. I'm so proud to say. Next slide, please. And I do tabling with my Sacramento Vegan Society and try to get people to sign up. Go ahead. Next slide. And then I started my business, Vegan Mentor, which I love doing because I actually coach people individually. For 30 days, I get you reading all the correct books and watching all the correct movies, especially if you're coming from a completely non-veg background. You have to watch What the Health, The Game Changers, Forks Over Knives, and you have to read The Starch Solution and many other books. And so I do a 30-day program. If anybody's interested, just email me at veganmentor@gmail.com. Next slide. Oh, this is one of my earlier clients, I should say. She came to my aerobics class, and I said, Linda, I'm here because I got to lose weight. And I said, you're not going to do it in my aerobics class. You're going to get stronger, you're going to get fitter, and you can be strong like me, but you're not going to lose the weight here. You have to change the food. So she jumped right in. She lost 85 pounds in 9 months or something. And then she went on to go to 130 down. There she is. She got featured in Women's World. Next, please. And then that's my Dr. Bernard. I don't know why it's cut off, but he's a wonderful man. The one reason I love that man so much is because he also cares about the animals. I remember he gave a talk once, and not just health, even though his whole business is health. He also works on animal things because when he was a doctor, he went into the lab room to cut up a mouse or something, and he said, that's it. As he couldn't stand it. So one time in Washington, D.C., I was the rabbit at the Capitol, dressed as a rabbit because we were doing anti-animal experimentation demonstration at the Capitol, Washington, D.C. He still remembers me as the rabbit. Anyway, he's a wonderful human. He was just here in San Jose, below San Jose, and I got to see him again. I get to see him at the conferences he puts on every year, too. But just the most wonderful man.
What was he doing down there? What was he doing down there? Did he have a conference?
Oh, yeah. He had a fundraiser for stopping animal experimentation in San Jose. One of the Food for Life instructors like me lives down there, but he has a winery, too. And they did a fundraiser. And he's also a doctor. He's a doctor and a Food for Life instructor. And what's nice is he donated his whole property for us to have a whole bunch of people come and have this most wonderful vegan dinner I've ever had in my life, and raise money for that animal experimentation. So, and I got my Food for Life certification. Anybody here who wants to do it, you can get it too. You have to go back to Washington, D.C. and get certified, but it's worth it because then you can spread the message forward like I am. What it does, I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist, but what it did for me is give me confidence to know that when I talk about cancer or diabetes or weight loss even, I have the material and the background of what Dr. Bernard has written about. And that helps so much to be able to be confident about helping people. Go ahead. And this is the book that you buy if you have cancer. I do a diabetes class and a kickstart class, but today is cancer. I'm talking about cancer. And this is a great book if you know someone who has cancer or if you don't want cancer. This is the book to get. It has great recipes, by the way. And that's me teaching my food. I have my apron on for Food for Life, and I'm teaching a class here, that one was on Zoom, because when COVID hit, I no longer went into the classroom. And I'm still not, I teach at Sac City, American River College, and I can't go to the classroom now, so we're doing it all on Zoom. So that's at home. I did my Food for Life class. What they do is they get a lecture on cancer, diabetes, or weight loss. And no, not yet. So we get anyway, there we are. So I forgot where I was. Go ahead, go to the next one. That's my granddaughter. Unfortunately, she is not plant-based at all, and neither is her mom or dad. And it is very disheartening, but hopefully one day she'll wake up. But it's been 34 years my family said no. Don't even talk about it. Don't breathe. Don't utter a word. Don't even roll your eyes at the family barbecue. Cheeseburgers and sausages. Don't roll your eyes or you'll be asked to leave. That's what it is there. Although I do have one son, he got it. I have three children. One son who runs my V-Dog food company that my late husband and I started in 2005. What's happening? Okay. Okay. All right, guys.
Press the wrong button.
Okay, can't press them up. Where do I go? I don't even know. I don't even know how to get there. Okay. Here it is.
Your slide?
Yeah. But he's way ahead there. Yeah, he's at the end. How do you go back? Here?
Let's see. We can scroll through it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not very big, but it's okay. I'll
I
take
can
it.
try to.
Okay, wait. I think there's a little, I don't know how to make it big. There's a little thing down here. Oh, I see. It's here. It's right here. Mm-hmm. There we go. Okay. Okay. Maybe you do the buttons.
Yeah, I'd be happy to help.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, we went way ahead again.
We're back to that. And there's a view in your granddaughter. It's there.
There. Okay. So anyway, I'm just saying, I have one kid who got it. He runs V-Dog Food, my company, dog food company that my late husband and I started in 2005. So if you have a dog, they can be vegan. Guess what? And they thrive. They're living longer than most dogs. So we know it works. The lab will tell us. So that's my granddaughter. I don't have much hope because they're really tied into this meat and dairy and egg thing. Go ahead now, please. This is the way it should be with the animals. This is what we need to teach our children. Unfortunately, when my kids were little, I didn't teach them that because I thought dogs were for pets and cows were for eating, right? I'm part of the problem here. Go to the next one, please. There we are. It's supposed to be like that. Next. And like that. Next. And like that. And we have to start seeing animals as someone, not something. Okay, go ahead. This is what it took me a long time to learn, but I'm doing that. Some people are very quiet about whether they're plant-based or vegan. The difference between plant-based and vegan is pretty big. Plant-based means you care about your health, or plant-exclusive, I say, and that's it. And that's fine. I'm okay with that because you're still helping animals, right? But then there's a vegan person. Does anybody know what vegan means? Anybody have an idea?
The whole ethical way of life.
It's for ethical reasons. It means do no harm the best you can. Not only animals, but people. And so that's why I'm a vegan, because I care. I don't want to hurt anybody. I mean, I do when I drive my car. I can't help it. I'm doing the best I can, right? So there are ways that we all hurt animals that I can't quite avoid yet. But on the other hand, I go to pig vigils, and the pigs are there crying in the truck before slaughter, and I give them water for the only kindness they get before they go to slaughter. They're 6 months old. They're just babies. We shouldn't be doing this at all to them. Okay, so I don't care what people think about me. I don't care what my family thinks about me. I will not stop my purpose. If you don't have a purpose of your own in life, please find one, because it makes life worth living. I'm 78 and I want to get up every morning so I can get my purpose out there. Okay, now we are ready for the first slide. For the first video I'm going to show you from Dr. Neil Bernard. Let's see, got to go out of the PowerPoint altogether.
Sure.
Here's the button right here. Use this side, yeah. Yeah. That's the green one. We've got to hit the red one.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, now, going to get out of here. We're going to go to the cancer one. It's this one right here. It's on this side. You press it.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, here we go, guys. This is Dr. Neil Bernard, Introduction to Cancer. Got to turn the sound up. Let's see. Wait. Can you hear that? Not very well. Can anybody hear it?
Yeah.
Not really.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Neil Barnard, President of the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. Thank you for joining us.
I have it all the way
We're
up.
going to zero in on how nutrition can not only help us stay free of cancer, but also, if we have this condition already, how we can use nutrition to better survive.
It's going pretty well, don't you
We have
think?
2 points before we get started.
That's not
There's a natural
looking.
tendency, if you've got any kind of serious
Up there, it
health
doesn't
condition,
work.
to think, what caused this? Did I cause this? Or did somebody else cause
What
this?
happened to it?
I understand that for now.
Hello?
Set all that aside.
Oh, great.
The second point is work with you.
Oh, God, what is it? What happened?
Power's out. It's not the computer. This
It's this thing here.
Oh, it's totally shut down.
Hello? Anybody? Where's my Greg? I don't know anything about this thing. Greg and the projector. Something's wrong with the projector. Oh, it's back. Okay, we got to go back, though.
Sure, it's really good.
This is the back button. Okay.
Good to go?
Uh-oh. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, let's start there.
Can't hear it, though. It's all the way up. Is Greg here? It must be on here.
I'm Dr. Neil Barnard, President of the Physicians Committee for Responsible
No volume.
Where's Greg?
Zero in on how nutrition can not only help us stay
Do
free,
you know how to fix the projector?
but also, if we have this condition already, how we can use nutrition for better survival. And we have 2 points before we get started. The first is, let's set aside.
Where's Greg? Where's Greg? Greg, Greg, where's Greg? Where's Greg? Where's Greg? He was in. You see him? Something's wrong with the projector.
Right here.
Where's Greg? You see him? Where? Can you give me mine? The projector went out, and then now we've got it on, but real low. It doesn't play loud enough. Can't hear it. Here we go.
We're just coming through the laptop and it's only on.
Oh, I don't know if you can do
Where are you
sound
going?
to that.
Bathroom.
Again?
We just thought maybe it would be better as a speaker.
Okay, well. You know what, do you have a light on your phone?
Yeah.
Did you guys do the volume on this thing?
Volume's all the way up.
On the projector?
No, we didn't see an
The
option.
projector is a problem with the projector.
No, okay. So, I don't, yeah, see, I don't know if sound actually comes out of this. So people were using their, like, personal speakers,
Oh,
tying it into their laptop.
Oh.
I don't think you're gonna get it here.
Like a Bluetooth.
Okay, we'll just, how about, can we go back to mine?
You're about to receive
You want to go back to
is
the car?
designed
That's all we can do. Okay, guys, be quiet.
Okay, let's get started. First of all,
Turn off the video. You want to keep? Should we just
No,
turn off
keep
the
going,
video?
keep going. It's okay. Just leave
the
it.
nucleus is DNA. That's the blueprint that makes each cell what it is. And it makes you what you are. But
Damn.
DNA can be easily damaged. And when it's damaged, instead of that cell doing its normal job, it starts multiplying out of control. It's like a weed.
Can you
that
hear
then
it?
sends roots into the flower bed,
Well,
disrupting
you
the other
hear it here,
plants.
but can't hear it there.
A piece of it can break off and get into the bloodstream and then spread somewhere else in the body where it does the same thing, spreading and damaging other tissues. There are certain things that make it worse and certain things that can help make it better. In the worst category are hormones. If a woman has breast cancer, female sex hormones called estrogens tend to fuel cancer growth and make it more likely to spread. And if a man has prostate cancer, the male sex hormone testosterone does exactly the same thing. It encourages cancer growth and encourages it to spread. The first inklings that cancer had anything to do with diet came from comparisons between different countries. If you compare Japan to the United States, for example, a Japanese woman is much less likely to develop cancer compared with an American woman. And if a Japanese woman were to get cancer, she's much more likely to survive. Well, why would that be? Well, the first theory was based on the fact that Japanese women are thin. And that's important because body fat actually acts as a factory for making estrogens. The more body fat you have, the more it cranks out estrogens, the female sex hormones, and it gets them into the bloodstream. And as they're coursing around through the blood, they're just looking for that one cancer cell. And then they actually fertilize her on weeds. They make it grow. They make it spread. They make the disease much more aggressive. But diet plays a role, even if a woman isn't heavy. If a woman
Some
eats a
seats here.
diet that's high in fat and very low in fiber, you know how when I say fiber, I mean plant knowledge. This high fat, low fiber dietary pattern can also increase the amount of estrogen that's in our blood. It's more fertilizer on weeds, if you will. Well, how does that happen? Well, researchers learned a long time ago that if a woman goes on a diet that has a lot of fat in it and has not very much fiber, the amount of estrogen, female sex hormone, in her bloodstream goes up within a matter of that fiber helps your body get rid of extra estrogens. Picture this. Your liver is filtering your blood every minute of every day, and it's looking for things that don't belong there. Your liver will find a little extra estrogen. It'll pull it out of the bloodstream. It sends it down a little tube called the bile duct. And from there, it goes into the intestinal tract, and out it goes with the waste. So the liver is filtering the blood. It takes that excess estrogen, it pulls it out, it sends it down the bile duct into the intestinal tract. Out it goes. Great system. The only problem is that it depends on one thing, and that's fiber. If you ate plenty of fiber, I'm talking about vegetables, fruits, beans, whole grains, then as the estrogen arrives in the intestinal tract, you hook onto that fiber, and out it goes with the waste. But let's say my lunch was skim milk, yogurt, chicken breast. How much fiber is in those foods? Well, they're not plants. They don't have any plant roughage. There isn't any fiber in any of those products. In fact, there isn't any fiber in anything from an animal. So the liver is still filtering the blood, and it finds the estrogen, and it sends it down the bile duct into the intestinal tract. Where's my fiber? Well, there isn't any fiber. So what happens? That estrogen goes back into the bloodstream. The estrogen is reabsorbed again, and it circulates around in the body, and sooner or later it arrives back at the liver, and the liver says, what are you doing here? And the liver actually removes that estrogen again. It sends it down the bile duct into the intestinal tract. It's looking for fiber, and there still isn't any fiber there, so it's reabsorbed once again, and the estrogen does this cycle over and over and over again. We call this enterohepatic circulation. Entero means intestinal.
We don't have any sound much.
Like hepatitis.
Sound not working.
It's not just for estrogen. It also happens for testosterone. A man can't get rid of that testosterone. That's the same high fiber system. Now, if he has a lot of fiber in his diet, his testosterone level will be added, not excessive. Because the liver finds that extra testosterone and gets rid of it. Same thing with cholesterol. You've heard about how oats will reduce cholesterol?
Yeah.
Well, this is how it works.
Well,
The liver finds the excess
yeah.
cholesterol, sends it down the bile duct, and because you ate plenty of oats, there's plenty of fiber. And that fiber carries the cholesterol out with your waste. The cholesterol levels go down. In research studies, do foods really make a difference? Well, the answer is yes. Let me share with you the results from 2 large studies on women diagnosed with breast cancer. The first was at the State University of New York in Buffalo. They looked at women who already had breast cancer. There were about 900 participants. As time went by, the risk of dying of breast cancer was increased by 40% for every 1,000 grams of fat that women consume per month. Now, to picture what I'm talking about, let's say you're on a totally plant-based diet with no animal products and without a lot of animal fat. And for comparison purposes, let's take a typical American diet. You might have cheeseburgers and French fries and a lot of fat in it, right? These 2 dietary patterns differ by a good 1,000 to 1,500 grams of fat every single month. And that's good for a 40 to 60% difference as to whether you're dead or alive at any point down the road. Another study was called the Women's Intervention Nutrition Study. Women who had had breast cancer were asked to lower the fat content of their diet, and they did. And it turned out that the diet change cut the risk of recurrence by 24%. And it's the same process with prostate cancer. Researchers have looked at men with prostate cancer who changed their diets to see what kind of a difference it could make. Dr. Dean Ornish, who had already used a low-fat vegetarian diet along with a healthy lifestyle to reverse heart disease, put a similar diet to practice for men with prostate cancer. He included 93 men with prostate cancer. Now, I should say, as you may know, if you have prostate cancer, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be treated right away. Many men with prostate cancer can wait. And while they wait, clinicians track a blood test called PSA, prostate-specific antigen. And if the PSA isn't going up too fast, you can just defer surgery or other treatments. But if it's going up fast, you need treatment. You can't wait anymore. So what Dr. Ornish did is half the group went on a vegan diet. That meant no meat, no dairy products at all, no animal products. The other half, they were the control group, and they didn't change their diet. And over the next year, it turned out that the control group's PSA levels were going up. On average, it went up about 6%. And out of the 49 men in that part of the study, 6 couldn't wait. Their cancer was aggressively advancing and they had to have treatment. What about the vegan group? Their average PSA wasn't rising anymore. In fact, it was actually starting to fall, and it fell about 4% over the course of the trial. That's good. That means they're regaining their health. And there wasn't a single person in that part of the study that needed to have treatment during the 1-year study. Now, there's another wrinkle in all of this. There's a specific effect of dairy products. Men who consume more dairy products seem to be at higher risk of getting prostate cancer. 2 large Harvard studies showed that when men consume more dairy products, their risk of prostate cancer is substantially higher than for other men. The reasons could be that dairy products change what's going on in a man's bloodstream. It turns out that milk and other dairy products increase something in your blood called IGF-1. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. IGF-1 stands for insulin-like growth factor number 1. This will not be on the test. I think of it as a little bit like cholesterol. You know how your cholesterol level can help you predict whether you're going to have a heart problem down the road? Not necessarily right now, but maybe 10 years from now. If I draw a blood sample and I check your IGF-1 level, and if it's higher, that means you're at higher risk for certain cancers, like prostate cancer for men or breast cancer for women. Why would milk make IGF-1 levels increase in your bloodstream? Well, think about this. What is milk's job? Milk's job is to help a calf grow. And once a calf is big, well, there's no need for any more milk, right? So if milk's job is to make things grow, it includes protein, it includes fat, lactose, sugar. Milk also has certain hormones and growth factors, including IGF-1. And IGF-1 is a potent stimulus not just for the growth of a calf, but also for cancer cell growth. If I were to mix IGF-1 in a test tube, along with cancer cells, they grow like crazy. Well, a man or a woman who drinks 3 glasses of milk per day has about a 10% rise in the amount of IGF-1 in his or her bloodstream. Now, you might be saying, well, if I don't want to have cancer cells growing in my body, maybe I should not be having the food like dairy products that causes growth factors to be produced? True enough. And there's more to it. When researchers have looked at colon cancer, that's cancer in the second half of the digestive tract, one of the big factors that seems to play a role is meat consumption, especially when meat is grilled. When meat products are cooked at really high temperatures, certain compounds called heterocyclic amines are formed. Heterocyclic amines are cancer-causing chemicals. Dozens of research studies have shown the more these compounds are in the foods you eat, the higher your cancer risk down the road. Well, where do they come from? You can go into just about any restaurant and you can order a grilled chicken sandwich, and if you were to send that chicken to a laboratory, they'll tell you it harbors heterocyclic amines. And the longer and hotter the chicken was cooked, the more these carcinogenic compounds form. Now, chicken happens to be the biggest source of these chemicals, and Americans eat, believe it or not, 1 million chickens per hour. We are getting a huge load of these carcinogens, but they occur in other meats too. Heterocyclic amines form in essentially any animal muscle if it's heated enough. So, let's say I take a hamburger and I grill it. What happens? Well, the carcinogens are likely to form. If I take a chicken breast and I grill it, same thing. Carcinogens are likely to form because it's hot animal muscle. So what if I take a veggie burger and I grill that? What happens? It gets warm. That's about it. It's not animal muscle, so these carcinogens are not likely to form. It's important to be clear that not every food is bad for you. There are plenty of things that are actually good for you. You know about beta-carotene. What color is beta-carotene? Where do we find it? Okay, that's the orange color in carrots and pumpkins and cantaloupes. Beta-carotene is nature's orange-colored antioxidant. That means it's there to protect the plant against free radicals. Free radicals are chemicals that could lead to cancer. And the beta-carotene goes into your bloodstream when you eat these foods, and it protects you too. Now, it has a cousin. Beta-carotene's cousin is called lycopene. Lycopene is in tomatoes. It's the reddish pigment that's in tomatoes, watermelons, pink grapefruits. It's a powerful antioxidant too. So how does all of this translate into something that I'm actually going to eat? Well, I like to use something called the power plate. The power plate includes whole grains, vegetables, fruits, legumes. The legume group is what? The beans, peas, lentils, right? Those are our ingredients. And turns into wonderful, healthy food. You might start with, say, a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, topped with some cinnamon and raisins, a banana, a splash of soy milk, or maybe cantaloupe, maybe some rye toast, hold the butter. How about lunch? Let's say I'm at a fast food place. Now, I'm not going to get that greasy taco dripping with cheese. Instead, let me have the bean burrito. Hold the cheese, but let's add some rice or corn or lettuce or tomato or salsa, whatever you'd like. And instead of the hamburger, have the veggie burger with pickles and mustard and lettuce and tomato or grilled onions. Dinner time. Let's say you're at an Italian place. You're not going to have the meat sauce all over your pasta, and you're not going to have the Alfredo sauce, but let's say you have the pasta with sautéed mushrooms, artichoke hearts, a tasty marinara sauce, grilled asparagus, a bowl of minestrone, a green salad. So this food is delicious, and it's such a healthy way to go. And if you were to do this every day, what happens? It turns out that vegetarians have actually about 40% less cancer risk compared to everybody else. And by the way, that's what I call the careless vegetarians, the French fry, potato chip eating vegetarians. And if you were to throw away all that junk food and really build in the high fiber foods, lots of vegetables, fruits, beans, whole grains, you can do better than that. But wait, there's actually more. A plant-based diet means your cholesterol level falls. And when people go on this kind of diet, they lose weight. On average, about a pound per week. Now, don't get nervous. If you're already at your ideal weight, and you're not just going to keep losing, you're not going to blow away, but if you've got extra weight to lose, that's what you can target. How about heart disease? If you follow this way of eating, and you have artery blockages, now those artery blockages start to go away. The arteries actually start opening up again. Your energy level improves. Your digestion gets better. If you've got diabetes, your blood sugars start to improve too. If you have high blood pressure, that tends to come down. And sometimes people find that if they've had a bit of arthritis, sore joints, that gets better as well. Not for everybody, but for many people. If they've got migraines, they get better too. It doesn't happen in every case, but it often does. People all over the world are test driving this kind of diet, putting it to work, and dramatically improving their health. And I'd like you to be part of it too. Now, if you're thinking, well, I'd like to give it a try, but where do I start? Here's what I suggest. First, take a week and try some new foods. Don't eliminate anything, just test out some new things. Try almond milk on your cornflakes instead of cow's milk. If you're having a burger every day at lunch, try the veggie burger, or try the bean burrito instead of the meat taco. See what you like. And when you're ready, take a 3-week period and do it 100%. Jump in, make every meal a vegan meal, and do it every day, but just 21 days. Now, why do I say that? Because if you were to have a healthy meal on Monday, and another healthy meal on maybe Thursday, and another one the following Wednesday, are you going to see any benefit? No. Are your tastes going to start to change? No. But let's say you do it every single meal, every day, even for a short period of time, what you find is that your tastes actually do change. And your body feels different. Most people go through their whole lives never having even a week on the diet that their body was actually designed for. And this is a chance to really do it. So give it a go. If you want to, you can use what I call transition foods. That's the veggie sausage or veggie hot dogs instead of the meat versions. They're totally optional, but sometimes they're helpful in the transition to simpler foods. Okay, we've covered the basics.
Still playing?
Just actually.
Oh, it's at the very end.
Sorry about the sound, guys. Evidently, there's a speaker missing or something. Could you hear it kind of? Yeah? Oh, good. Thank you. This happened one other time when I borrowed somebody else's equipment and it wouldn't connect. And I had spent the whole time just talking to everybody because it didn't connect. So this is the second time it didn't quite work the way it was supposed to. But this is the book, if you came in late. It's called The Cancer Survivor's Guide by Dr. Neil Bernard. And so this is the book. It has great recipes in here too. So it helps you get started when you know what to cook, right? A lot of people, when they start with me, they say, I don't know what to eat. Tell me what to eat. And I have to tell them breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. So they get it because they think there's no more food. because they took out all the food they were eating. So I know it's a big transition for some people. One of my clients, in fact, she got pork and beans, and she said, Linda, I took out most of the pork. Well, she said, next time just buy the beans, okay? You don't have to take the pork out. But anyway, so I know it's a big transition for many people. Are you brave? Tell me how many people are already completely plant exclusive. Wow, quite a few of you. Wow, that's really good. I don't know how you found out, but I was 44 when I found out, and now I'm 78, and I'm still talking about it. I don't stop talking about it because I know it helps people like it helped me. I had cancer. I no longer have cancer from 34 years ago. So, yes, it works, and it works for my clients. They lose the weight. They lose not always the cancer, mind you. You can still get sick and get cancer on a plant-exclusive diet. So don't let anybody tell you this is going to reverse everybody's. I have a very good friend who died of a very rare cancer, and she eats like me. So it can happen, but you have 40% less risk of having the cancer. And like me, and one of the clients that Dr. McDougall had, they reversed their cancer completely, like I did. And you might be that one part of the 40% who don't have cancer anymore because you changed to a whole food, plant, exclusive diet. I have 2 more videos to show. I'm hoping he put a big sound machine there. It might work. We'll have to try it. But does anybody have questions about Dr. Neil Bernard right there? I want you to know that the IGF growth hormone is probably the most important thing you need to know about. Anybody know what it is? Insulin growth factor number 1, and it comes from dairy. It's when you eat dairy. That's why. Have you heard of Dr. T. Colin Campbell from Cornell? Yeah, I'm certified with that too. But he said that dairy, which shocks everybody, is our most powerful carcinogen. People think it's red beef. No. It's milk, it's cheese, it's ice cream made from a cow. The only person drinking from a mother cow should be a baby cow, right? So why are we... I painted a picture once of a man underneath a cow tit with his suit on, sucking the tit. And I said, oh, he's having his lunch milkshake. Well, does that seem ridiculous? And have you ever thought, oh my gosh, I'm really thirsty right now, and you're going by a bunch of dairy cows, and you jump over the fence and you suck your cow because that's what you're doing. Isn't it silly? But it's silly, but it's cruel too, right? That belongs to the baby cow. So I'm going to start the next video for you. Hopefully we have some sound this time. Let's see. Give it a try. Yes? No, but I have a diabetes one called Reversing Diabetes by Dr. Bernard. I teach diabetes next time. So get the same doctor reversing diabetes program, okay? It works for diabetes. By the way, you reverse your diabetes too. I have one client who had diabetes for 27 years. And she lost her diabetes when she took my diabetes class, one class. And she has no diabetes now for 10 years. What does that tell you? Doctor kept giving her metformin, more metformin, less metformin, and now she's on no metformin and no diabetes. So I know it works. I saw it with my own eyes. Pardon me?
Like 65, I mean, it's going to work.
65? Yeah, it works for anybody. I don't care how old you are. It works the day you do it. You start it. I'm trying to get this away. Okay, that's go here. Okay, now next video, I'm going to show. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, I'm going to show this one next. I'm going to show you my cooking class. Okay. Okay. But anyway, yeah, it works for diabetes and cancer both. And anybody got questions? Yeah.
Are you going to be doing a demonstration about it, or like a talk about diabetes at all, or today?
Not today, but I'll talk right now since I have a little minute. Okay. Diabetes is rampant. You lose your fingers, your toes, your leg, your eyesight, you get heart disease. It's terrible. So while I'm on the break here, while he sets that up, diabetes is reversible, type 2. And type 1, you can even have less medication, but you can't never get off of it because your pancreas is destroyed. So, but diabetes comes from, anybody know what diabetes is caused from? What causes diabetes? Anybody? Fat. Fat. Everybody thinks it's sugar. Okay, my diabetics eat 10 potatoes a day like me. That's carbs. That's glucose. They don't get diabetes from that. How you get diabetes is you eat the fat, say a piece of chicken, lean chicken, skinless chicken, and that's saturated fat. The fat goes inside your cells. And then when your pancreas is trying to produce the glucose to be carried into your cell, it can't get in. It's like a block. So the glucose can't get in the cell, so your body thinks it needs more sugar. So it's producing more and more sugar. Then you got high sugar levels, right? And so that's how you get diabetes. So when you take out the fat from animal fat, you have removed your diabetes type 2. I've done it. I've seen it. I did it myself. I'm not a doctor. The doctor said, "What are you doing? You don't need metformin anymore." Well, my coach said to do this and that. The doctors have no idea because they're not trained in nutrition. They're just not. My own doctor happens to be like me. I found him by accident. But it was so funny. I was wearing these earrings that said vegan, and my doctor wasn't there that day, so I went to him, and he said, "I am too." And I said, "You're what?" He said, "I am too." And I said, "You're what?" He said, "I'm vegan. It says on your earrings." I said, "Oh." And so that's how I found my vegan doctor. The only one at Kaiser where I live. He's the only vegan doctor, and he told me he never talks about it with anybody. He's afraid to get fired. He's afraid to get fired. So that's where your doctor is on nutrition usually. They just don't want to know because they haven't been trained in it. It's not their fault necessarily, just don't want to know because they weren't trained in it and they think surgery and drugs are the answer. But diabetes is caused from fat in the cell blocking the glucose from getting in. Yes.
I was wondering about the fat, like on any plant-based food fats, are there any fats that you would avoid?
No, you want it all oils, vegetable oil, any kind, olive oil, coconut oil, no oil. That actually blocks just like a meat does or a cheese does. So you want to eat the whole food. You can have some avocados and some olives and you can have some coconut. You just don't want the processed oil. Anyway, that oil is heated up. It's a real processed food. People don't realize that.
Cold pressed or expeller pressed rather than making
it doesn't make any difference. Any kind of oil that's been made out of an olive into oil is no good for diabetes or your weight, by the way. I was 55 some pounds heavier. And now at 78, I feel great. You want to feel great at 78 and be strong? I teach kickboxing and aerobics. You know? That's what you want to feel like. You want energy. What gives you energy? Starch. I eat peas and beans and corn and lentils, and that's what gives me the energy. Then I throw some greens in there and a salad and some fruit. Right? A few nuts here and there, not too many. Eat a handful here and there, but don't eat them inside of like the ice cream that I was doing before. If you eat ice cream made out of nuts, you can eat the whole pint by yourself, right? Very easily. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start with this.
And great big looking speaker isn't working.
Not working? Okay. Okay, not working. We'll try this. I'm showing you a cooking demo that I did for Food for Life. Let's see if it works here. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me know.
We're going to make a salad dressing.
Wait, I'm going to go back and start at the beginning. Why isn't it coming up?
Hi everybody, my name is Linda Middlesworth and I'm going to show you two very easy cancer-fighting recipes today.
Oh, there it is.
They are so easy. All you have to do, the first one's called Easy Bean Salad.
Okay.
And it's going to be a cold salad, but it's absolutely delicious. We're going to use 3 kinds of beans. We're black-eyed peas. I use the Eden brand because there's nothing else added. There's just beans. So we want to get the organic black-eyed peas from Eden I already opened it and rinsed it and drained it. I'm going to put it right here in my bowl. All the beans.
Why I can't make it lighter?
I don't know why. Oh, this. The projection. You want the projection lighter?
My whole scene to be able to see it.
I
It's
see.
dark.
As well.
Whiter,
We have
not
some
whiter.
celery.
White, light.
There's 2
Light.
stalks of celery that I already chopped up. I thought out some roast makes it very pretty too, and it gives me a little sweet to the salad. And then I have 1 good milk pepper chocolate.
Restroom.
Here, so I can get that side of the country. Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful flavor. Some of you may know or not know, I had cancer 34 years ago. But then I found out about eating which are cancer free. And I haven't had cancer now for 34 years. So it works every time. Not every time, but in my case, yes. Cancer is hard, but if you want to fight it and prevent it,
Thank you.
one more part of lemon. Now, we're going to add, just because the lemon's a little bit sour, we're going to add about a tablespoon of maple syrup. I also use sometimes just frozen, a couple tablespoons of frozen orange juice instead of the maple syrup if you want to. 1 tablespoon. And half black pepper. About half a teaspoon. And if you don't want salt and have high blood pressure, you don't have to put it in. But I tend to use about a half a teaspoon of salt too. Yeah. And we're going to put garlic in there too. I chopped it up already. Garlic is really a great cancer fighter. It has a wonderful action. I mean, you leave it out for a while before you put it in your dish. It releases even more. And this is a big cancer fighter. It's autoimmune booster too. So, it's fresh garlic here. And now, I'm just going to mix that all up into a very easy, wonderful tasting salad. It's a nice summer dish when it's very hot outside. And there you have it. I'm going to serve it up in a bowl. And there you go. Isn't that beautiful? Can't wait to eat that later. So what we can do to make it prettier and also add even more nutrients is a little bit of parsley on top. See? Isn't that nice?
I can see it.
Now, for dessert, I'm going to make you a wonderful smoothie. We use about a cup of frozen berries, mixed berries. berries. I had blueberries, so I'm using those. And we use 1 banana. All chopped up in here. I'll just make it smaller so it's easier. And about a cup and a half of, I get the Eden brand soy milk. The reason I like this particular brand, or you can make your own, but if you buy it, I like the Eden soy because it doesn't come with a lot of horrible other ingredients. Some of the soy milks, like Silk and other soy milks, and also almond milk and oat milk, come with an ingredient called vitamin A palmitate. This is just a fancy name for palm oil. And we are avoiding all oils, all vegetable oils, olive oil, coconut oil, because those are inflammatory. They're not real food, they're processed. So we eat the olive, not the oil. We use the coconut, not the oil. We use the flax seed, not the oil. So, especially for cancer, we need to keep those out of our diet. But I will use about a cup and a half of the Eden soy. Milk. There we have it. I'm going to put this in my vitamin. And it makes the most delicious smoothie ever. To make a little pound. Now you can double that recipe and make more if we have more people. Because there's just 2 of us here, so. And there you have it. I'll show you what it looks like. It's so good. I'm going to give that to my partner so he can drink it. Isn't that pretty? So easy. So, thank you so much for watching. This has been a lot of fun, and
Okay, that's enough of that. Here, too many cords. So I add kale to mine too. I always add kale to any smoothie I might make. Actually, I mostly chew my food. So, because you want the fiber. Remember, for cancer, fiber is key. Fiber helps get your system working and get the toxins out. Also, always remember to eat broccoli if you have or don't want cancer or want to prevent it. Always have broccoli because broccoli has sulforaphane in it. And sulforaphane is a toxic remover from your body. And that's the only vegetable I know that has sulforaphane in it. So you want your broccoli. I eat broccoli every day. It's that so good for you. And I eat kale every day too because they have you want to get your beta carotene in, which is the yellow part. When when the broccoli starts to turn yellow, that means it has beta carotene in it. You don't want to eat it. I mean, you can eat it then, but I try to get the green one. But if I forgot to eat it for a while, it starts to get yellow. That means the beta carotene is in there. Pardon me?
It's okay to eat.
Yeah, you can eat it, but it just you want to get the green part too. So, and then on the IGF growth hormone, I'm not sure I finished talking about it, but when you take in the cow milk, what happens is it has the growth factor hormone IGF number 1. And it's meant to make a baby cow go from 100 pounds to 1,000 pounds in a year because it's meant for a cow, right? So when we take in the IGF growth hormone from dairy products, we are altering our DNA a little bit here now for cancer. And we're growing things that shouldn't be growing. That was for a cow, not us. And also the protein content in dairy is so high that unlike what people think, it actually strips calcium from your bone because it's now acidic and it wants to alkalize itself, so it takes from your bone. The opposite of what the dairy industry tells you. We believe I always thought dairy is good for your bones and teeth. It is the opposite for bones and teeth. So don't believe any of the lies from the dairy industry. They kind of own our government and our advertising, and so we all don't know that until somebody like me or like my neighbor told me. I didn't know, and I found out from Dr. Neil Bernard even more about the IGF growth hormone and how it's our number 1 source for cancer. So We have to, I know cheese is hard to give up. When somebody told me I had to give up my cheese, I almost slugged them. Because it's so addictive, right? It has casomorphine in it. Comes from the casein. That's casomorphine. You know the word morphine? That's what it is. It's like addicted to morphine when you eat. I used to be so addicted to cheese that I would walk by my refrigerator and have to open the door and take a bite and then go on and do it again, then come by again and take another. I couldn't stay away from it. It was like an alcoholic with drinking drinks, you know. It was like, where is it? Where's my cheese? And boy, you buy ice cream, better be in the freezer too, right? Same thing. I was so addicted, it was really ridiculous. And as my partner over there, Jim, knows, I eat a lot of food. He eats like a half a bowl of something, even the good food. And he goes, I'm full. And, oh my God, I would have eaten 3 of those bowls, right? So it's a good thing I eat like this, or I would be 400 pounds by now because I eat so much. That's wonderful about our diet, is you get to eat so much. You know, if you're eating the right food, you just don't have to gain all that weight that I did, and that I have many friends and clients who have that problem. I have one client right now, 325 pounds, and she's 5'4". And I'm working on it. I'm going to get it down. But it's a matter of learning the right food to eat. Because once you do, that food starts to taste good to you. The thought of putting oil on my salad now sounds like greasy. You don't want to grease up your arteries. It's like being an oil slick, right? The fiber can't move through very well. We want fiber if you don't want cancer. What are some big sources of cancer? Fiber. Beans. Right? But all your food from plants, if it's eaten whole, you want to eat it as whole as possible, not do like I did in the beginning, eating the soy hot dogs and things like that. I now eat the beans or the tofu, but I don't eat the processed ones anymore. But I used to eat all the processed food, so I know how easy it is to do that too. So you want to eat food in a whole form. Take out your salt too. That recipe had salt, but I actually don't use salt. I don't use any salt at all because I tend to get high blood pressure. I don't want that. Now, if you're in perfect health and you're an athlete and you had a little bit of salt, probably wouldn't hurt you. But I say it's a good idea. Just don't add it. You know, you can use miso. That has and then I also use something called Benson's Table Tasty, because that is a no salt seasoning. So if I want a salty taste, like I make for Jim, I make Parmesan with almonds or cashews, either one, a little nutritional yeast, and Benson's Table Tasty to give the salt flavor. It tastes just like Parmesan. It's really good, but you don't need the salt, and you don't need any dairy at all. It's just wonderful. So anyway, I think that's all about I have to say, except if you want to get a hold of me for any reason, I have those recipes I did on here I can send you. My email is veganmentor@gmail.com. So anytime, get a hold of Linda Middlesworth, you just write to me, and I will help you transition, help you lose the weight if you need it, and help you stop. I do the diabetes part too, and I help with the cancer. So it feels so good to help people. I love it. It just feels right. And I have this wonderful purpose in life, which is really, I hope you find your purpose because it makes life worth living. I tell my truth. I walk into the bank, and while I'm waiting and she's waiting, I go, "Are you vegan yet?" And they go, "Oh, I see you have a vegan hat." I always wear something vegan usually. And they said, "Oh, you know, I kind of thought about that," or, "Oh, I don't know about that." I said, "Well, if you ever want to try," I lost the weight, I lost my cancer, my heart disease. I had severe heart disease, 358 total cholesterol. So I said, "If you ever want to, here's my card. You call me if you like. No pressure." Well, and I told them what movie. I write on the back to watch Forks Over Knives and What the Health, right? And my banker, I saw her again. She said, "I'm watching it this weekend, Linda, I promise." So I get people who do it, and some people who get a hold of me. I had one lady who got a hold of me 9 years later. She goes, I'm ready. So something else happened in her life, right? So you never know when you're planting a seed. So don't be afraid to say your truth. I talk about it all the time. Some people are shy and they don't like to do it that way. That's okay too. If you're just eating plants and being quiet, I'm happy with that too. But I'm loud and I talk to everybody. I never stop talking. It's just the way I am. And the people at Dog Park all know about being vegan and what it means and what movies to watch. There's anybody who hasn't heard my story. Now, there's a few that run when they see me, right? I get that. It's okay. But anyway, it's really, really wonderful to help people and be a part of the solution in this life. We want to have a planet here, too. You know, we want this earth to be here, and if we keep raising cows and feeding cows and using up all our land to do that, we're not going to have a very good earth. We're already having climate things happen, and we want to stop that as much as possible. So if we all help each other go plant-based, and write to me if you need it, okay? I would love to help you. So thank you so much. Anybody got questions first? Anybody? No? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. What are some cancer, or what are some foods that you treat for cancer?
What are foods I eat for cancer?
That you'll treat, yes.
That what?
Yes.
What about the foods for cancer?
Yes, what food, specific food?
All plant food. All plant food, whole food. Like you got the beans and the rice and the grains, all those. You have the whole grains. Yeah, I said that. Okay, like barley and millet and rice. All those grains, right?
Are there specific foods, like you're saying garlic and broccoli?
Well, then you have the cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and bok choy and all those, you know, garlic and onions and all the plant food. Yeah.
Okay, but you're saying broccoli, garlic, but is there any other really made specific food?
No, it's all plant food. Eating the right whole food plant food is your best source to, there are some foods like sulforaphane in broccoli that helps. There's garlic that helps with cancer. You chop it up first and let it sit for 10 minutes and let the allicin open up, and then it has even greater cancer fighter. So garlic and broccoli and let's see what else. All your cruciferous vegetables are good for you too. But they're all, any plant food is good as long as you're eating not the animal foods. It's what you're not eating that help. That's what most people's problem is. They're eating the wrong food. They're eating oil, and that's inflammatory, so you don't want that. And then they're eating animal products. And see, there's no fiber in animal products. There's only fiber in plant food. There's no cholesterol in plant food, but there's all animal food is cholesterol. And chicken and beef are about the same. It doesn't help. And eggs are full of cholesterol, and it will give you heart disease as well. So fish are very high in cholesterol. And they come with PCBs and dioxin. So it's what you take out and just eat from the plant kingdom. But like all your cruciferous vegetables and and garlic are really top for cancer fighting, if that's what you're talking about.
That's what yes.
Okay. Yes. Oh wait, she had a question first. Sorry, Han.
Well, kind of a little off topic. I was going to ask about vegan dog.
Oh, we'll talk later.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
In terms of like almond milk and that type of thing, what about like the oil from the nuts is what I'm getting to.
Nuts?
The oil from the nuts kind of...
Well, that's a plant food, so you're eating a whole nut. Yeah, it's fine. Still got its fiber with it. Yeah, you're fine with that. Any more questions? Yeah.
Do you think 1 tablespoon of olive oil is bad?
I would say so, especially if you have any chronic disease, yeah. Oil is like an oil slick, and it's inflammatory. So every time you eat oil, it is causing inflammation. And it also acts like an oil slick, so the fiber can't do its job when it's going through your arteries. It actually helps create plaque in your arteries, too. It destroys the endothelial cells lining your arteries, you see. So now if you were a top athlete or something and you had a tablespoon of olive oil now and again, I wouldn't jump up and down. But generally, I'd say it's better to learn to eat it without it. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, that high fat in your bloodstream keeps the nutrients from getting to your cells. I mean, not
Yeah.
because of the insulin problem, but just it makes your blood so thick that the nutrients don't.
Right. It does block nutrients from getting into your cells because that's what it does. It blocks things, and also causes diabetes because your cells, the fat gets in your cell and the sugar can't get in. So we don't want diabetes either. So for 2 reasons. Yes. It is, but you got to read the ingredients on it because some of them come with a whole list of things like phosphates and things. And they also come with vitamins. Like Silk Brand is horrible. It comes with vitamin A palmitate. And vitamin A palmitate is a fancy word for oil, palm oil. So you got to get the Trader Joe one. Trader Joe's have some good milks without anything but like oats and water or something. So you want to get those. Yes.
Autoimmune disorders and links to,
Yeah. Well, these are all the foods we eat are hormonal boosting things, and the things that hurt us are the animal products, which makes all our autoimmune disorders. That's what I had. I had thyroid cancer, autoimmune disorder. And I don't have it anymore. Yeah, all your autoimmune disorders are coming from eating the animal products and the
From the animal protein.
and the animal protein. Yes, the fat and the protein and the cholesterol, all of it together. So yes. Oh wait, I couldn't hear you.
Intermittent fasting.
Say again.
Intermittent fasting.
Oh, intermittent fasting. That's interesting. I don't have a problem with other people doing it, but when people come to me, they do this intermittent fasting, but then they eat the wrong food in between. It's not working very well, right? So it doesn't work. Now, if you're eating the right food in fasting, it's not going to hurt too much. I don't find it necessary. I go with Dr. John McDougall. He said, just eat the right food, and you're fine. But if you want to try it and you like it and it helps you somehow, go for it. I get a lot of people left over. How many of you heard of True North? Well, I used to help Chef AJ there for a while, but I have people who come out of there and they gain all the way back and they come to me because you're in a controlled environment, right? And that's when it's easier to eat like that. They're serving you the right food, but then you go home and open the refrigerator and your family has all the other stuff in there, right? It's very tempting. And Grandpa had a birthday and I got to eat an egg. So that's what happens. And so I get those people. I help show how you can transition for life, not just in a controlled environment. Because your own environment is where you have to learn how to do it. There's always people in somebody's environment who are eating all wrong stuff. Or they're bringing it to your house or even, Seize candy, here you go. So, yeah. Okay, is it time to go? Okay. Thank you guys so very much. I appreciate your coming. I'm sorry about the technical issues. But thank you. If you have more questions, email me or talk to me out there at veganmentor@gmail.com. Thank you. Thank you so much.